All right, so earlier we have gone ahead and we've graphed lines by plotting 2 points in different forms. We have also used intercepts to go ahead and graph lines. Today we're going to use the idea of slope and slope-intercept form to go ahead and graph lines. So remember, our slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is our slope, and we have been working with slope, which is subtracting the y's over subtracting the x's. All right. And then our b is our y-intercept, which is in the form of 0 and then some value y. And so when we're graphing lines in slope-intercept form, the first thing we want to go ahead and do is we want to graph our y-intercept. And from now I'm going to abbreviate intercept int. So we want to go ahead and graph our y-intercept. And then from there, from the y-intercept, we are going to use the idea of navigating from rise over run to get to our next point. And from there we can go ahead and graph our line. So we're going to look at several examples. Let's go ahead and look at the first one. So here we have y is equal to 1/2 x plus 2. So here I know my slope, my m, is the value in front of the x, which is 1/2. And my b is a plus 2 or positive 2, so my y-intercept is going to be the point 0, 2. So I can go ahead from there, and I want to start off at graphing my y-intercept, which is 0, 2. And then from there, I want to navigate to my next point by using my slope. So my slope is 1/2. That's the same as rise over run. Okay, so I want to go ahead and rise up from this point 1 and run 2 to get to my next value. Okay. So we're going to go ahead. I have my 2 points. I can go ahead and graph my line. If I wanted to go ahead and double check, I could check if the points 0, 2 and 2, 2 are solutions for this equation. Example 2, I have an m is equal to -1/3. My slope in this case is a -1, so my y-intercept, or my y-intercept is -1. So my y-intercept is an ordered pair 0, -1. So again, I'm going to start from my y-intercept, which is 0, -1. And I'm going to go ahead and use the idea of rising over running. So I'm going to rise up 1, go to the right 3, and plot my next point. And then from here, I go ahead and have 2 points. I could go ahead and graph my line. Example 3, here's a kind of special example that I have for you here. So y is equal to x. Now it doesn't look like it's in the form of y equals mx plus b, but it is. So if I use the idea of y equals mx plus b, okay, I have to remember that anytime there's nothing in front of x, there's a 1. And the b is still there, but it's a 0, because if I add 0 to anything, it doesn't change anything. So here my m is equal to positive 1. My b is going to be my origin, because my b was 0. So I'm going to start off at 0, 0, my origin. And my slope is 1. Now anytime I have a whole number, I want to change it to a fraction over 1. So my m is actually 1 over 1, which means I'm going to rise up 1 and go to the right 1. So I'm going to rise up 1, go to the right 1, plot my next point. And the fun part is I could continue to do this. So I could continue from the next point, go up 1 to the right 1, and I can plot another point. And I can do this to get as many points as I want. I can also, with this, remember that if I have a slope and it has a double negative, remember a negative over negative is a positive. So -1 over -1 is also 1. I can navigate the opposite direction. Which means if I want to start from the origin, I can actually go down 1 and to the left 1 and plot a point, and it should line up with everything else. And I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time. Go down 1 to the right 1 and plot another point. Notice all these points line up. I could draw one straight line through all of them. And this is a very special line that you'll see very often in pre-calc and those sort of classes. But it's nice to know how to graph it, because it doesn't look like anything is there, but really everything is there. I'm going to do one more example 4. So here I have y is equal to 2/3 x. And again, because they don't have anything at the end, I can assume that there's a plus 0 at the end. So here my m is equal to 2/3. My y-intercept is going to be 0, 0, the origin again. And I'm going to use the same idea. I'm going to start at the origin. I'm going to use the idea of rise over run. And I'm going to go ahead and rise up 2 and run 3 to get my next point. I'm also going to do the opposite. I'm going to consider that m is -2 over -3. And I'm going to go down 2 and to the left 3. And if I've done it right, they should all line up. And I should go ahead and get a nice straight line. So go ahead and work on the practice problems that I put up today. Please make sure to ask any questions. We will continue this again. So this is not the only day we're doing this. And I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next class.